Everybody always wants to get into real estate, but they don't realize that owning a franchise is essentially the same exact play, but a lot of times you're making even more money in the process. Before you disagree with me, just listen to me and let me break this down. You can buy a franchise, build it up, and flip that mug 2 to 3 times even more than what you paid for in such a short time frame. I'm talking 3 to 5 years. If you approach this right, franchises give you equity, and a lot of equity. In my opinion, you will make so much more monthly franchising than leasing a home to somebody. It's the same exact formula you would have with real estate, except you're dealing with burgers, fries, pizza, smoothies, whatever it is. You gotta treat it the same exact way. You just gotta build it up, sit on it for a little bit, treat it like a real business, and watch how much money you make in the process. Buying a franchise equals buying a property. When you get into a franchise, you are buying into the system. Same way as if you're buying a piece of land or a fixer-upper. You're getting a brand name, a location, and a set rule and structure that is very easy to follow as long as you have common sense. You're putting your time and money into it just to raise the value, just like you would do with any real estate deal. Instead of countertops and new floors, you're installing POS systems, and you're firing your cousin because they're always late. Never hire your family. That's one mistake that you never want to make. They're never going to do right. So here's the goal in this, and it's just like real estate. Don't just buy it just to have it. You want to add value to it. You want to add appreciation to it. You want to build those sales. Make it smoother, make it cleaner, add value to it. In real estate, we always talk about forced appreciation. It's the exact same with franchising. You build it up with strong cores. You build it up with a strong team. You want to be sure that you're creating a constant profit, because guess what? When you're showing this to an investor, a franchise investor that just wants something that's running well, that's clean, and is making profit, they're going to pay whatever for that location. Trust me on this. Because again, the goal is just to sell it for more than what you paid for from the beginning. It's essentially the same thing as having a tenant, except they're buying burgers and fries instead of paying your rent every month. And we do all of this because of the exit strategy. To all 2 of y'all that are still watching this video, this is the main purpose, the exit strategy. The exit strategy is the equivalent of the franchise flip. This is what it's all about for this video. This is the whole purpose. See, there are a lot of people that sign a franchise agreement and think that this is a retirement plan, but there is also a whole different set of investors that sign on the dotted line, knowing inside their mind that they're only going to stay here for about 3 to 5 years. They're going to make their money, build it up, and flip it. Here's the formula. Let me break it down real simple for you. You buy into the franchise. It's going to cost you about $200K, maybe $300, maybe even a little less. It depends on what you get into. Once you get into that franchise, you're going to build that revenue. I'm talking about $150K to about $250K. It could be a lot more or it can be less. It just depends on the franchise you get into and how you're running your operations, because you have to run a tight operations if you want the most bang for your buck. This is not a theory. This is what goes on with operators every single day. Trust me, I know so many operators that look at this like it's a real estate deal. Yes, you're franchising, you're making a lot of liquid cash every single year, but this is all about real estate. And this is golden for the people that just want to get into a business for a few years and get out. Document the system, then you flip it to someone who wants a turnkey profitable business. It's that simple. It's so simple that I always question why so many people miss this play, because it's so simple. And I think it's because they just don't understand the value in owning a franchise. A lot of people are treating franchises like it's a job and not a business. There's a lot of times people get stuck behind the counter, flipping burgers, dropping fries, mopping the floors, and they're slowly dying inside. You don't want that to be you. You want to build the system so it runs without you. You're trying to be the CEO. You're not trying to be the fry employee of the month. If you approach this right, franchises give you equity, and a lot of equity. In my opinion, you will make so much more monthly franchising than leasing a home to somebody. Again, monthly cash flow. And then after all of this, in 3 to 5 years, you flip it to somebody else. And eventually you get that payday that you're looking for, that same franchise that you paid $200,000 for. Now you can flip that for about $450 to $500K, even $600K, depending on the concept, depending on those sales, and depending on how good of a business you ran in that time frame. So I want you to ask yourself, Do you want to lease a home to somebody where you're making about $2,000, $3,000 a month? Or do you want to own a franchise where you are technically doing the same exact thing, putting the same exact money in, and you're making thousands and thousands and thousands a month? To me, it's a no-brainer, but hey, I don't know anything. I'm just the guy that owns 4 Smoothie Kings. So look, I know y'all learned a little bit of information today, and if you are rocking with Scholar Paycheck, I need you to subscribe right now. Leave a comment, let me know what kind of videos you want from me. I got so much game to give. I got a lot of bright ideas, but I want to hear from you guys. And just remember, this is how we scale over here. Not with theory, not with hope, but strategy. That is what this page is all about. Scholar Paycheck, I'm out.